Whilst the company formation application process can be a little confusing if you decide to go direct to Companies House, it can be made much easier by making use of a company formation agent such as ourselves here at Set Up a Company. We have a direct link with Companies House that means people using our service usually have a decision made on their application within 3 working hours. Better still, we have simplified our application process so that you can complete it online within as little as 4 minutes. We then provide the standard documents you need, such as the Memorandum and Articles of Association, so that all you need to do is provide us with the company name, its address, and the details of the directors and shareholders. Let me take you now through the application form so you can see just how easy it is. So if you open up your internet browser and navigate to setupacompany.co.uk, that's all one word, setupacompany.co.uk, then you'll be faced with a screen that looks something like this. As we look at the screen, we can see that there are 3 different packages that we can choose from to form our company. There's the Fast Track, which provides you with all of the basic documents as PDF, so that's downloadable electronic documents. There's the Comprehensive package, which most people end up going for, as not only does it include your basic documents, but it also includes the printed documents such as the share certificates, the formation certificate, and also the Memorandum and Articles of Association, which is sometimes used when you're looking to maintain the company and used when you're looking to set up the bank account. There's also the Professional package, which contains everything that you're ever likely to need, so that includes even your statutory company register, which is a necessary requirement for all limited companies. You must maintain an up-to-date statutory register. Now, most people go with the Comprehensive document because the statutory register is something that can easily be created at a later date and can be maintained by an accountant. However, if you do want to go for the Professional package, then you can select that package. But we'll look at that in a moment, because the first thing that you want to do when coming to this page is going up to this box here and checking if your company name is available. So I'm going to just do, as an example, your example company. Obviously you will type in the name that you want to use to set up your company, and then click the Check Now button, and it will come up and tell you yes, hopefully your company is available for registration, or if it's not available, you'll get a message asking you to choose a different name. Once you've found a company name that you're happy with and that is available, then you can choose which package you want to go for. So remember, the Fast Track is the electronic version. The Comprehensive means that you will get printed documents through the post to your house, and it also includes printed copies of the Memorandum and Association, as well as the share certificates and the formation certificates. Or you can choose the Professional package if you also want the statutory register. Now keep in mind that each package does also include things like free domain name, a free Google AdWords voucher, the bank account if you want it. You can also take the cash flow accounting software trial, and also the free website builder trial as well, and that applies on any of the packages that you choose. So the main difference between the packages is just whether you want the electronic version, whether you want the printed version, or whether you want the printed version with the statutory register. So I'm going to choose the Comprehensive package because that's by far the most popular document, and if you're in doubt as to which one is right for you, I would suggest that this is also the package that you choose. So we're going to click the Buy Now button for the Comprehensive package. And so it will come up and ask you if you'd like to upgrade, and it will show you which extra documents you may be able to take if you do upgrade to the next package up. If you wish to upgrade, you can click the Upgrade to Professional package button here, or you can just click the Continue button here. So I'll click the Continue button so we can go through to the next stage. And so this stage of the order process, this is where we're starting to put together the details that are needed to form our company. And so the first thing we get is an overview of all of the different things that are included in the package that we've chosen. So you can see here this has got business startup fact sheets, the formation of the actual company, we've got electronic PDF certificate and memorandum and articles of association, we've got share certificates, we've also got a printed version of the memorandum and articles of association, as well as a printed copy of the certificate, and then we've got our bonuses as well, like the free domain name and email address. And if we scroll down a little bit further, it will show you any optional extras that are available for us to add on to this package. So in this case we've got the statutory register and minutes, which are also printed and bound, and we can choose to add those to our package by clicking the add button here. For this example I won't add anything on, but feel free to if there is something that you would like to add on to your package. So if we're happy with everything, we just need to check the terms and conditions, which you can do by clicking the orange text here, and once you've read that and agreed to it, tick the box there and then click the checkout button. A screen will come up asking us to wait, and then that will move us on to the next stage of the company formation process. And you can see here that it's carried across the name that we chose, so we wanted Your Example Company Limited, so that's put that in there as the company name, and now it's asking us to choose our registered office. Now all limited companies must have a registered office in the UK. Now you do not necessarily need to be located at that office, but you do need to be able to access any mail that is sent to that registered office. Now the registered office will be displayed on public records for your company, so it will be accessible to members of the public. And for this reason, if you're working from home, you may choose not to use your home address or even your office address as the registered office. You may prefer to use a different address for that increased level of privacy. If that's the case, then we do actually offer a registered office address service, and you can click the details text here to get some more information on how exactly that service works. Basically, it will provide you with a Nottingham based address which all of your mail can be sent to and then forwarded on, and you'll be given the option, if you select this package, you'll be given the option to specify a address that you would like all official mails forwarded on to. Or if you'd like to use your own address, whether that's your office address or home address, whatever it is, then you can click this select button here. And then this will ask you to put in the details for your company. So I'm going to put in the details of set up a company, so I'm going to put in NG8 6PY, and we're going to click the lookup button here, and that will do a postcode lookup so we can find our address on here. So we're going to use, let's just use that one as an example. So once we're happy that that is the correct address, we can click the submit address button here, and that will add that as our chosen company registered office. And if we'd like to choose mail forwarding, so this is if we would like our mail sending to a registered office and then forwarding on to us, we can also select this button here. Again, you can click the details button here to get more information on the service. But for the purposes of this example, I'll leave it selected as no thanks, and we'll click the next button here. And that will take us on to the next stage, which is actually the appointments. So this is where we start to specify the directors and the shareholders that will be involved in the company. So we start by clicking the add new officer button here, and that will ask you, is the officer a person or is it a company? For most people this is going to be a person, so for this example I'll click the person button. Obviously if it will be a company, please click the corporate button. So for now let's click the person button, and it will ask you what roles in the company will this person actually have. Now because all companies need at least one director and one shareholder, for this example I'm going to click both the director and the shareholder box. And you may also click the secretary box if you wish to nominate this person as a company secretary. However, this is no longer a requirement for limited companies. You do not have to appoint a company secretary. All you need is a director and a shareholder. So we're just going to leave it selected as director and shareholder for now, and it will ask you for your shareholdings, how many shares do you want to issue? So for the purposes of this example, we'll issue just one ordinary share of £1 each, and we will have the option to change that later. So we'll click the next button and we can begin entering the details of the person. So again, just for the purpose of this example, we're going to call the person Joe Bloggs. We'll give them a date of birth just by selecting the relevant drop down boxes. The occupation that they're going to have is director, and the nationality will be British. And then here we're asked 3 different details about the officer, so that it's sort of a security level, if you like. So we just need to fill in 3 details that basically forms a kind of password for the officer. So it's defaulted to these 3 here: mother's maiden name, father's forename and eye colour, but each drop down box can be changed, so if there's something else you'd like to use instead, then you can do that. So we've got town of birth, telephone number, national insurance and passport number. And so if we leave it selected as a default ones, you can change these if you wish, but we're going to do so first 3 letters of mother's maiden name, first 3 letters of father's forename, and the first 3 letters of the eye colour. And then we click the next button. And then it will ask for the residential address of that officer. So we click the select address and it will give you the option to use the same address that you put in as the registered office address. If you'd like to use that, you can click the select button, or if you'd like to specify a new address, click the add new address button. For this example, I'll click the select button so we use the same address as the registered office. Now keep in mind, this does need to be the proper residential address of this director or shareholder. This address will not be shown on the public records. If the officer has a confidentiality order, then you can tick this box here. If you're not sure what a confidentiality order is, then the chances are the person does not have one. But you can hover over this text here to get a full explanation of what a confidentiality order is, in case you're in some doubt. But for most people, that box can remain unticked. You then need to specify the service address for that director or shareholder. This will be the address that all communication is sent to. And so you can use the same as the residential address, or if you prefer, you can use our service address. And that will mean that all of the mail is sent to us, and then we forward that on to an address that you specify. So again, it just gives the director or the shareholder an added layer of privacy if they choose to use it. For this example, I'll just use the same as residential address, although if you did want to use a different address, you can select this box here and then follow the instructions. So let's click next on that. And that will add that person now to the formation. So you see the screen refreshes, we can see that Joe Bloggs has been appointed as both a director and a shareholder. And we can see that he's been issued with 1 ordinary share of £1 each. Now here, if we want to change the value of the shares that have been issued, we can do so in this box here. So we can easily just change that in there and put, say, £2 per share or whatever value you want, and you can see it's now automatically updated here. So that's changed to 1 ordinary share at £2 per share. And so that is how we assign directors to a company, and also how we assign shareholders and allocate shares to them and change the value of those shares. So we can now click the next button. And on this stage, we'll be asked which legal documents we want to include as part of the application process. So this is the memorandum and articles of association that are put together that Companies House need to see in order to form your company. By default, we'll use the generic limited by shares memorandum and articles of association, and that's the default one that's already selected. However, if you want to choose different ones, there's flat management articles and also a non-duplex version of the generic limited by shares memorandum and articles of association. If you're not sure which is right, there's an explanation of each one here, but for the majority of people, the automatically selected generic one at the top there will be correct, so we can just click the next button here. and that will take us on to ask us if we want to apply for a bank account. If we do want to apply for a bank account, then you just need to tick this box and then fill in the form below, so whether you're completing it for yourself or for somebody else, and then put in the details of the person who will be dealing with the application, along with their contact address. So this will automatically pull in based on the details you've entered so far. However, you can change any of these if you wish. Once you've done that, you can click the next button. If for some reason you don't want to apply for a bank account, just click the I do not wish to apply for a bank account button here. That will also bring up some details about the bank account and what it is that you would be applying for. So if you're not sure whether you want a bank account, first select that you don't want it, and then you can read this information here to see how the bank account actually works, and should you choose to, you can add the bank account back onto the application here. If you decide that you still don't want to apply for the bank account, then you can just click the next button. And that will take us through to almost the final stage of the application process now, and this just asks us if we want any optional extras on our formation. So here we've got different things. We've got statutory register of minutes printed and bound. We've got the guaranteed same day service, so if you're in a rush and you definitely want the company forming today, then you can select this option. There's an application review service if you're not quite sure whether you filled everything in correctly and you want it checking over. There's also 1 month's free accountancy, which you can claim simply by clicking the add button there. It's free, so it won't update the price, but it will add it to your formation to make sure that somebody contacts you about that accountancy service for the month. We also do VAT registration. You can get a company seal, or you can get a presentation folder for the company register. All of these are optional extras. You can either add them, or if you don't want to add any, then you can click the next button at the bottom. Just before we do that, just want to point out that if you want more information on any of these services, just click the question mark icon, and that will bring up this pop-up box which will explain more details about that optional extra. Once you've chosen your optional extras, you can click the next button, which will take you through to the final confirmation. Now it's very important that you look over these details carefully, because once your company formation has been submitted, there's no way to change it until it's actually been formed as a company, and at which point you may have to incur extra fees. So you need to make sure that the spelling of your company name is as you intended, that you've entered the correct registered office and all of the correct details about the different directors and shareholders. And if you need to change any details at all, then each section has this edit link in the top right, which you can click and then follow the instructions. If you're happy that everything is correct, then please press the next button, which will take us on to the actual payment screen. And so this confirms all of the things that are in our basket. So this is everything that we're going to receive when we complete the checkout process. If we scroll down a little bit further, it will ask us for the delivery details of our formation. So here you can specify the name. So let's say that Joe Bloggs has formed this, and we can specify the email address that all of the electronic documents and the confirmations and everything else will go to. So we'll just type in an example email address there. So put in your email address there, and then it will have automatically chosen the registered office address as the recipient address. So this is where all of the printed documents, if they apply to the formation you've chosen, this is where all of those printed documents will actually be sent. So again, you can choose to edit this, or you can choose another. If you've already entered the address somewhere else, click choose another and you'll be able to select it from the list. Once you're happy that everything's right and the documents are going to the right person at the right place, just click again to agree to the terms and conditions. Again, you can select that text to actually read them, and then click the big checkout now button, and it will give you the payment option. So it's asking us to make a payment by debit or credit card. We can select the button there, which will then take us through to the secure payment page. As you can see here, it's asking very basic standard questions about the card holder, so first name, all of the address details, and then the card details, which you can put in here. And once you've entered all of those details, just select the submit transaction button here. I'm not going to do that as part of this example, but if you do select it, then that will process the payment and charge your card, and once that's successful, you'll receive an email to say that it's been successful and that your company has now been submitted. What will happen then is that it will go off to Companies House and they will manually review all of the information you've put forward, and providing that everything is okay with the application, it should be accepted, often within around 3 working hours. Sometimes it can take a little longer, sometimes it's a little bit quicker. It all depends on how many formations Companies House have got to get through to approve or reject. They work 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, from around 9 o'clock in the morning through to 5 or 6 o'clock on the night. So if you submit your application on a weekend, it will hopefully form on the following Monday. Once it's formed, you'll get an email through that includes all of the information about your company, so that will be the PDFs, documents for the formation certificate, share certificates, company number, authorization code, everything else that basically you were expecting for your company formation. And if you've ordered a package that includes printed documents, they'll be sent out to you in the next 7 to 14 days. If you've applied for the bank account, your information will automatically be passed to Barclays and they will be in touch, usually via email, within 48 hours of your company successfully being formed. And that will include more details about how you can go ahead and set up the bank account. So as you can see, the process is very quick and simple and avoids the need for you to complete any complicated forms or prepare long-winded documents. In addition, when you use our service, you'll also gain a host of extras such as a free domain name and email address, an extended free trial of the Cashflow accountancy software, and a Google AdWords voucher that turns £25 into £100. Our packages start from just £19.99, which includes a Companies House fee, and you can also take advantage of our free Fast Track business bank account application, so you can get your business up and running even more quickly.